in real life today.
What's up, everybody? This Q and Chop, chopping it up.
Yo, Q, man, this coronavirus, man, it's killing us.
It's killing us, man. But I'm taking advantage, man. You gotta take advantage. Really diving in, man, on things you could do, bro. You just gotta do that.
You got more time to do more things.
Yeah, man.
Stuff that you wanted to do a long time. You read a book or write something, or cook, something.
Cook, hey, man. Gotta love to cook. I mean, I've been diving into it, getting a chance to just really try out new things, man. Got cookbook on the bookshelf and everything, so.
But, what we need to do is open these restaurants and businesses, man.
Oh, yeah, businesses, man. And what's the best way to do that?
Man, the best way to, do this is talk to someone, about businesses and restaurants. And who is? Then the Chamber of Commerce. So today we have the Zebulon Chamber of Commerce. We got the president and the membership engagement coordinator, Denise Nowell and Maria Southard. Maria and Denise, how you guys doing today?
We are great. Hey, Christian.
Q, how you doing?
I'm blessed, man. Glad to be here. Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so today's topic is more about what does Chamber do for small businesses, especially right now with the pandemic, with COVID-19. I know it's very hard for small business to open. I have a lot of friends that have small businesses, but that they lay off a bunch of people to stay afloat with themselves. What does the Chamber do for them? Can you explain to us?
Yeah, thanks, Christian. And thank you for the opportunity just to speak into this. So as a Chamber of Commerce, our role is to be the voice for businesses. So even more so during something like this, that is not just local to our area or to our region, but this pandemic that's affecting us globally. How do our businesses stay in touch with each other? That's one of the things that we're working really hard on, is to make sure that they have connections not only to us, but also to each other. So many times when crisis happens, we find resources that tell us businesses that stay connected to one another are the ones that survive.
That's great. That's great to hear, about small businesses going and helping them out. Because I in the real note, I know you guys from, me having that business here in Zebulon. And, that's why we started. And it's great to have people like you guys helping out and talking to me, because since the first day that I got here, I called you were up there in the store in 30 minutes.
Right, and that's one of the things that we take a lot of pride in, is making sure that we get you the resources as quickly as possible, but that we also do it in a way that makes you feel like you're part of the family. Maria does an excellent job at that, and so I'll let her speak a little bit about why that's important.
Well, we value relationships, and they say you've met one chamber, you've met one chamber. So while we advocate supporting all chambers of commerce because of the great work that they do, the Zebulon Chamber is different because we're small enough that we can be relational, and we make that a priority.
That's awesome. I think that's a good thing, to be relational, personable. I think that's going to make great business. So why are our small businesses in jeopardy right now?
That's, super important. So as so many businesses are in jeopardy right now, specifically our small businesses, because a small business doesn't typically have access to capital like a larger business might. A small business also doesn't have the breadth of being able to say, okay, well, we can cut this, and this. The small business typically is somewhere between 1 and 5 or 10 people. They're already running lean. And when you're running lean and part of your market either goes away or other things like that happen, you're trying to figure out, okay, 1, how do we survive? And then 2, how do I either continue to feed myself and my family or the families that depend on me? So I would say that a lot of the reason that our small businesses are in jeopardy right now is just because they are small. We love that about our businesses, and that's even more of the reason for them to stay connected to one another.
Yeah, I would say small businesses have more to lose because they have less to cut. So sometimes there's no one to fire, and so There's no way to save money because you're the only one running your one-man show. And one thing that we've just been able to love doing during this time, never waste a good crisis, is how we rolled into this, hoping that we could save some of the people that we love and serve. And so we were able to be in connection with some of our bigger organizations, our bigger businesses that had things that they weren't using. We have a food company in town that had a lot of excess supplies, and so we were able to connect them with different people to get those supplies to people that needed it. Our grocery stores were able to communicate us to be like, hey, we still have some toilet paper, or we're selling a lot of meat right now, and meat is hard to get at certain times. So we've just been able to, more than anything, point people to the right resources as much as possible.
So how can we support them? How can we support them?
Yeah, so supporting all of our businesses is super important, and supporting the small businesses right now, that's making sure that they have access to like practical things. What Maria mentioned is like businesses that have some excess of supplies that they were able to share. And then also making sure that they have access to a business relief fund that we created. So our board of directors decided that it would be great to have something that we could put in place so that businesses who wanted, or individuals who wanted to donate to a fund, could do so, and then businesses who were in need could apply and have an opportunity to receive some funding.
That's awesome that you guys are working in-house and finding solutions for small businesses that, like you said, maybe you have 2-3 people and they're already lean already. Do you cut yourself? What, do you start paying yourself? Do you start paying the rent? What do you start, there's a lot of things to talk about, And me, when I was a small business owner, sometimes, you have a dry month and without a pandemic, and you're still like sweating, you're like, oh man, what do I do,
Mm-hmm.
But especially now there's a pandemic and you're running dry. Maybe let's say your small pizza shop, how many in Zebulon there are in pizza shops? Like 6 or 7. I was counting last time. Imagine, you gotta, especially a small business owner that you are, you have to find ways to get customers to get to your door. There's 6 people that are competing with you.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 big brand stores and probably 3 more smaller businesses. So you gotta be unique and clever and find ways, and maybe compete with, maybe help each other out.
That's right. And so even simple things like the first week that Governor Cooper made some of the declarations about businesses needing to close, the town made some lenient changes to their signage and their enforcement processes for the downtown. So we took some of our A signs, our A-frame boardwalk signs downtown to all of the restaurants and just said, hey, if you'd like to use this so that you can have signage outside that says we're offering curbside or we're offering takeout. Just finding those little practical ways to not only stay connected, but to also find those resources for each other.
Yeah, and I think those kind of opportunities are available to anyone, like whether it's from sharing your 5 favorite coffee shops on social media, or honestly, like in the comments when you order something to go, say you guys are awesome and you mean something to us, is like a huge way to love on your small businesses that are local, because the people that run them are people too, and they need encouraged. They need to know that they're struggling and that you're here for them. I actually live in Raleigh, and so that's something that I've been able to do is just like check in on my favorite baristas. I'm like, hey, how's it going? And like the small business relief fund that the chamber's doing, that's open for anybody to donate. We had one of our really good friends of the chamber donate $25, and she's not having an easy time in life right now, and she's just seeing a need and meeting it. So whether it's just sharing on social media or checking on someone that you know in small business or donating to a big relief fund, like you can make a difference.
Yeah, and we also feel like there's a role for all of us to play right now, whether it's you as a personal and an individual, or if it's you as a business. We all have a role to play in what's going on in our world, and it's been so fun to see those pieces come together.
You kind of took over. But we wanted to know what other resources there were. Y'all kind of skimmed over a couple already, so it kind of took my question from me. But
Sorry about that.
you good. But I just want to know.
We might be overachievers.
But that's the best ones we want, especially for our small businesses. We want overachievers, so we definitely appreciate you. But is there any other resources y'all have made for small businesses? Maybe budget plans, helping budget maybe, or just anything else that y'all do?
Yeah. So one of the things that we started almost immediately was pushing out an electronic newsletter. So it's an e-blast that goes out daily. And so we started including in that e-blast, if you're a business in Zebulon and you want any kind of attention to your business, whether it's in person or curbside or just knowing that you can do stuff online, we daily have a list of all of these businesses, and then we've listed either their hours or what they're offering or what their availability is. That's been a great resource for our businesses. And then we've also done a couple of Zoom calls with groups like the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and then the Small Business Association. We've helped a couple of our businesses make sure that they know how to connect with either receiving an EIDL, the Economic Impact Disaster Loan, or the PPP, which is the Paycheck Protection Program. And we've heard from a few of our businesses that they've been able to access some of those funds. And then the fun thing part, one of the things that's been fun about it too is seeing how it comes full circle, because small business needs a paycheck protection loan. One of our local banks is one of the ones providing those loans. And then there's another resource. So it's like all of these resources are connected to each other. And that's why we feel like being connected to our businesses is super critical, because we can all help each other, right? So the loan helps the businessman, and then the bank being able to offer the loan helps the bank.
It's a whole family.
It's a whole family.
You know, especially the way, Denise, the way you treat everybody with kindness, and, you know, we go out and events that we go to out, you know, when I was here, I supported other events, and, you know, the way you talk to people, the way you treat that event like it's his own, you know, life, you know, people see that and people want to be a part of it. So I'm glad that Zebulon has a person like you guys, like you two, Maria, that's always there for them to come in. And if anything, like right now, especially with the pandemic going on, you started ASAP. You didn't wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks to see what was going on. You made phone calls to businesses, you know. You made, you know, hey, do you need our A-frame? Do you need our social media? Do you need, you know, this? You gave them options. And that's what people should see about chambers. Maybe not just yours, but like around the country. You know, the big ones, or the Great Raleigh one, or California or LA. Any of the chambers. If you're a small business owner that you're listening to right now, and you're not part of the chamber, this is your invitation, you know. Join your local chamber, you know. If you're in North Carolina, you know, Zebulon's right here, you know.
That's right.
Come to Zebulon, you know. So it's great to, you know, that you guys see helping each other out now, you know, because you never know when will this ever happen again, when we're back to normal. So can you guys give us a recap, like, what is a chamber? Like, what is a chamber of commerce? Like, what, you know, like, why are they there for? Maybe a lot of business owners that are listening to us right now don't know what's a chamber. Or maybe they've seen it, but they're like, you know, I don't know what I can get for them, you know? Is it a money grab, or are they actually helping me out?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked.
I bet you guys get that a lot, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So the chamber supports commerce. And like I said earlier, like, not every chamber is like every chamber. We are a little bit different in that we're small, which is great. And we do a lot of economic development. And a lot of other chambers have different focuses. But we support commerce, which means your business is our passion. And we don't pretend to have all the answers, because that's not what we want to be. But we're a resource, we're a catalyst, and we're a connector. And so when you come to us, it's not that we're going to give you necessarily all the funding you need, or like all the answers you need, but we know the people that have the answers. And we are here to grease the wheels of commerce. So that's, I guess, a little bit broad spectrum of what we do, but I guess if I were a small business owner and I came into somewhere like Zebulon, like we recently had someone come in that wanted to build a distillery, and he found the building by himself, but creating a new business and construction takes a lot of people. And so we were able to connect him to people that could help him move forward and move faster. And he's actually joined our Emerging Business Roundtable, which is a group of individuals supporting one another and just talking about what it's like to be a new small business, because it isn't easy. And so they've been able to connect with one another, where one was an interior designer and an architect, and if you're redesigning a building, you need that. And we've had a potter. I'm rambling, but there you go.
So is it safe to say that you're kind of a middleman?
Yes.
Just kind of
We
helping all.
we like to use the word conduit. We love being the one that helps connect people with each other. And Maria, you alluded to this earlier. We can't guarantee that if you join the chamber that your business is going to skyrocket. But what we can guarantee you is that we will connect you with the people that can help your business skyrocket. And then in return, we're also looking for partners that want to be on mission with us. We know that we are headed in a direction to help support this business community, but we know that the business community being stronger in Zebulon not only impacts Zebulon, it also impacts this area, this region. Eventually, it impacts the state and then the whole world. So we feel like we are on mission, and we are looking for partners that want to be a part of it.
That's awesome to hear. Maria, you were talking about the roundtable.
Yes.
Explain that more to people.
Yeah, sure.
What's it about?
So we have a couple different roundtables. A lot of them are new initiatives. The Emerging Business Roundtable is our most active one right now. It's made up of 4 to 5 businesses that we handpicked that we thought could benefit from a resource like each other. And so we don't really, it's not a webinar at all. It's not like a seminar. In fact, it's a potluck. We bring different businesses in. We have, like I said, an architecture, interior designer, a distillery, a potter, a future coffee shop, a future tap room, etc. And we bring them all to a table, and we just say, "Hey, how are you doing?" We check in. It's for morale, but it's also for connections, because each one of those represents like innumerable connections for other people too. And we just know how important it is to stay connected. And then they throw events together. We had an incredible event lined up for this spring that we had to postpone, with the first of its kind, where we were going to shut down a side street in Zebulon, which just doesn't happen very often. And it was our brewing company, BDD Brewing, out of Rocky Mount. And then Neo, our wine shop, and then they were going to bring some incredible music and connect with some of our other people. So it's a group for entrepreneurs to talk, kind of like this podcast.
That's when you get the best ideas, when you're just chopping it up, talking, and like you said, round table events. That's a good idea, a neat idea. I like it a lot. I think it'll go far.
Thanks.
It's good to have people like you to help out and stuff like that. I know as business owners ourselves, we are very thankful.
When I was here, we would talk for hours. All 3 of us at a restaurant or my store, or come here with you guys are right now. We talk about events and how we can help out other businesses, not just mine, all of us. The last event that we all did, that we all joined, was Teachers First. We helped all the business owners of Zebulon helped out and buy supplies for teachers. The last year's teachers was the high school teachers, right? So, man, we gave them a lot, And I had a friend of mine, Mr. Phil Ford. He came in and spoke, and it was a great event. But that's the type of the events that chambers have, that not any other places with businesses have. If I wasn't a part of the chamber, I wouldn't know this. So how you can help these people out, and other connections, networking events that you guys have, help each other out.
Right.
Especially at this moment, maybe we can't be around, we're 6 feet apart and all that, but when the times are right, and we mingle, we talk. How many ideas we have brought in with all those events that we had? So many ideas we had, you know.
That's right.
Just-
Innovation station.
Yeah, you know, and we just eating and talking, you know, with other business owners, you know. I met so many people, you know, and you know, I gave my part of the story, you know, and you hear other business owners part of the story, you know, how they got started, and that's great, you know. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Christian, you just explained exactly why we feel like we're the conduit, because we believe that a rising tide lifts all boats, and so we believe that the work that we do here at the Chamber of Commerce is good for this community, whether you're a member or not. We hope you'll see the value of joining us as a member, but if not, we are still here to serve this business community, and a perfect example of that was Teachers First. The whole premise behind that was to give our teachers the supplies that they need to be able to have what they need in their rooms, so that when these kids come to class, if they don't have the supplies, the teachers can give them what they need without reaching into their own pockets. And then it also gave our businesses an opportunity to give back to their community, because a business that gives back to their teachers, who can then do a better job of taking care of their classroom, that business is actually investing in their future workforce, because these kids are going to grow up and they're going to be looking for
Right.
jobs, and we want to retain them. So we believe so much in those types of events, but you just did a perfect example of explaining why we're the conduit.
You know, like the way I'm gonna piggyback what you said right there from the teachers investing. I'm believing the teachers are investing on those kids that are the future of America. Those are the next doctors. You know, they can next. You know, they can invent the next cancer treatment. You know, or the HIV. You know, treatment or any other COVID-19. You never know.
Right.
You know. So those teachers, you know, for that moment, you know, are investing a smaller, maybe they're not so monetary wise, but human wise, they're investing so much of them, because you never know what that kid's going on in their life, and you're investing that life, like your time to their life, for them to become great in life. And I think that event was amazing, you know.
It's big picture thinking. I mean,
Q, you're a teacher. You should know this.
Exactly. It's big picture thinking. Anybody who works with kids, I feel like you're a big picture thinker, because, like you said, you think about the next generation.
Yeah.
Agreed. Totally.
So I had a question, like when you're working with businesses, what is probably the most common advice you give? Maybe the struggling businesses, or people that just maybe come to you for advice, or what is the most common thing?
I would say that partnerships are worth it. I think that's a lot of what we come back to is relationships and partnerships, but that's because people are people, and we're a little bit messy, and you're going to have to negotiate, and you're going to have to be willing to give a little more maybe than you want to in order to pull off an event. But you are not going to get as much done for you or anyone else rolling over people as you are taking the time to communicate and give a little, and just do your best not to burn bridges, but to build relationships.
We know about that. We know about that. You know, we know about that. So let's recap about COVID-19. If our listeners right now are small business owners and they're having trouble with COVID-19, what tips do we give them?
First of all, I would say give us a call. We will listen, and we will do what we can to just take down the information and figure out where you are and where your needs are, where are those pain points. We will also just do our best to direct you to some resources. There are still funds available through the Paycheck Protection Program if you qualify for that. There are still funds through the EIDL program if you want to avail yourself of that. Just released today, there's a Wake Forward small business loan. It's specifically designed for small businesses in Wake County. We're super excited. So some of the partners that we work with are the Economic Development Partnership for North Carolina, along with the Wake County Economic Development Group. And it's important for us to stay connected to sources like that, because the Zebulon Chamber might not have access to all of these types of funding resources, but because we know about these partners and we stay connected to them, they let us know when they're available.
Okay, can you throw out a couple qualifications for that loan? So that some people
1
would
to
know.
5 or 1 to 10 employees. So it could be a sole proprietor. You obviously have to be in Wake County for this specific program. But those are the minimum requirements. There aren't huge requirements as long as you have your paperwork together. I think that's going to be your probably most important factor.
And one of the pieces that's unique about this Wake Forward loan program is independent contractors can qualify. So for like the EIDL and the PPP, it's been hard for an independent contractor to qualify, and this is something that they can. So this is good news.
Any news for any minority-owned business owners? Any special programs or? I know in Zebulon there's a lot of minority owners. You know, what's the wine store, the wine shop, and all that, and the pizza owners are minority. Right. My store we are minority owners. The pizza shop next to us was minority owners. Right. So San Jose Mexican was out there, minority owners. So, but are there any other resources that they can help out with them?
I think that there are some resources out there. Something that a program that we know specifically that we helped facilitate was BB&T. They decided to partner with one of our minority-owned restaurants here in town, La Mexicanita, and they provided the funding for La Mexicanita to create 100 meals, and then they were able to push the word out to some of our lesser underserved population to come and get a nice hot meal. And I actually saw the meals; they were pretty amazing.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, I want to get one of those meals.
Right. I'll just go pay for it though. I still have my job. Thank the Lord.
That's one thing about this COVID. People still having their job, and as a teacher, we're doing telecommunicating or whatever, class online. Right. I just came from doing that. So how are you liking that? Are y'all adjusting? Well, you say you like to be face to face, so I know that kind of hinders that a little bit.
Yeah, I think one of the opportunities that COVID-19 has presented all of us is the opportunity to pivot. And some of us were more ready for that, and some of us were not. The great thing is everybody got a chance to see how it affects them. So yeah, face-to-face is always our preference. And we're just grateful, though, to live in a day and time where the technology makes it possible to do things like a Zoom class or, a Zoom webinar or great. Or WebEx or some of the other platforms that are available. And so we're thankful for those opportunities, but we definitely look forward to when we can be back in face-to-face. And side note, thanks for being a teacher and for all you're doing. That's pretty amazing.
Yes, ma'am. I love it.
Maria, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll just add on to that a little bit. We have done a lot of online, platformed events, but also, and we're having another one coming up, State of the Region, which I think would be really cool, and it's open to anybody to check out on our website. But a lot of our businesses are essential, and so we've been able to see some of them face to face. Obviously practicing social distancing, but
the big wave.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, I can talk pretty loudly, so it's worked out pretty well. But we've just been able to run by, and the farmers market in Zebulon is still open, and they're running within social distancing practices, and so a lot of our businesses are a part of that program, and they're still able to be face to face. So just because we can't always be maybe as close as we'd like to give a hug or a handshake, we can still talk and be in person. I mean, kind of like we are right now.
Yep, 6 feet apart.
That's right.
6 feet apart. So let's move forward. Give us guys a little bio about you guys. Where you guys come from? How do you guys start the chamber?
So I will say that let's see. Well, how did I start? This chamber started in 1947. Wow. So I did not start this Zebulon Chamber of Commerce. And I have had the opportunity to serve here for about 5 years. I was most recently at the Garner Chamber of Commerce, and then was with Forsyth Medical Center before that, and then also was with the Winston-Salem Chamber of Commerce. And that's where I got my Chamber of Commerce start. I actually was reared overseas in the Philippines and came back to America when I was almost 19. And I came to America thinking a couple of things. One, maybe I would go back to the Philippines as a missionary. I really, really love the idea of being an ambassador. And then when my life gave me the opportunity to be introduced to what a Chamber of Commerce does, I realized, oh, wow, I could be an ambassador to businesses for the rest of my life. And so I love small business. I love medium and large businesses, but I love serving. And so the opportunity to do what I get to do at a Chamber of Commerce is pretty amazing.
That's
a
awesome.
little bit.
Yeah. I will also say Denise is a small business owner herself. She has a small baking business on the side where you can get the best chocolate truffles you've ever had.
We gotta try some of those.
Yeah, you definitely should. So they're seasonal and limited. So anyway,
limited quantity only. All right.
that's right. So I got started in the chamber world very recently. Denise and I used to go to the same church, and we went on a camping trip together. And I was nannying at the time. I studied at Liberty University, got a degree in teaching English as a second language. That's what I was going to do. I love teaching. Then I nannied for a little while because I also love kids. And then now somehow I find myself loving economic development. But Denise allowed me to join her team a little over a year ago, a year and a half. Anyway, and I'm the membership engagement coordinator and have learned to love small town life. I grew up in a really pretty big city in India with a lot of people. And so small town life and just the incredible freedoms of America are still like new and full of wonder to me. So that's a little bit about me. And also just shout out to Denise. She is the best boss ever. Working at the chamber is literally the most fun thing I've ever done for work.
Man, that's awesome to hear you guys, how you guys came from. And you guys are very culturally diverse, you know? And some other things, but I'm joking right
Wow.
there. But you guys, you guys are, awesome, And the last thing I want to ask you guys about is how can people partner up for your business relief fund?
I'm super glad you asked. That's great. So our business relief fund is really kind of growing a little bit of a life of its own. So in addition to being able to donate directly to the fund, we have a couple of businesses who have said, hey, we have some products that we feel like are marketable right now, but we also believe that we'd like to donate a portion of the proceeds of these products back to the business relief fund. So one of them is Tar River Teas, and Jeremy is a brand new business in Zebulon, but also a brand new chamber member, and he has a t-shirt, and part of the funds from that t-shirt go back to either the business of your choice or the business relief fund. And then also Brandon McCraney with Old Raleigh Distillery. I'll let Maria share.
Yeah, so he has a source for hand sanitizer, and he's made that available to anybody that wants it. You do have to come here to Zebulon to pick it up, but we have a great mural, so you can drive past that. And that is available on his website, oldraleighDistillery.com/shop. And a portion of that goes back to our business relief fund as well.
Do you know Jeremy's website off the top of your head? We could give him a shout
He
out
just
as well.
has a Facebook page, but yes, it's Tar River Teas and Graphics. And the t-shirt says, I heart NC small business. So I support NC small business. So, and if you are a business owner that wants to get involved in that as well, we are looking for more business partners to share the love.
How active of a business owner do you have to be? You might have a business, but you're not very, very, very active on it, or you're still in the beginning stages. Like, what stage would they have to be to join your chamber?
Oh, that is a favorite question of ours. You can be at any stage and join our chamber, and we would love to have a conversation with you about how we can make sure that it's a good fit for you, but that also you take advantage of as many of the resources as possible. Do you want to tell a little bit about Jeremy with Tar River? because he was just getting his business started.
Yeah, sure.
And
Yeah, so Jeremy moved into a space and had just started his graphic printing business. He also does cornhole, and he travels on the weekends at races. So he has a lot going on, but he spoke to some of our commissioners actually, and they recommended that he join the chamber. And so he's joined and just been able to get connected, and it was his idea actually to do the t-shirts, and so we partnered with him to share the word and get other people sharing the love as well.
Yeah. So that's an example of a business that just got launched that really already realized I need another connection that can help get the word out about me. So he joined. And then another one, they're officially just joining this week. She is a one-man show. One woman
show.
So she is doing some consulting, and she's just getting launched. Like, she just left her full-time position 2 weeks ago to launch this business, and she's joining the chamber because she realizes the connections are going to be good for her, and it's a way for us to help get the word out about what she's doing.
Yeah.
How can people find you guys?
We are at www.zebulonchamber.org.
That's so good.
Or talk to Christian. He knows.
Yes.
That's right.
talk to me, and I'll send you guys the link. Any other last remarks that you guys want to let our listeners know? Anything coming up? Anything new? Any programs that you're going to offer in the future now?
Yeah, well, one of the, I think, overriding things that we want to share is we just want everybody to take heart in knowing that we're going to get through this. We are all in this together. It matters that we stay connected to one another, and it matters that we do what we can to play our role in what's going on, either to support or to provide resources or just to encourage. We also know that it's important to stay connected because, like, when a tree goes through trauma, it will shed all of its leaves. And once it's done that, it's doing that so that it can conserve the trunk. We believe that it's so important to preserve as many of these trees right now as possible. So we're doing all we can to make sure that we nourish those trunks. So those are our businesses. And we have a saying around here that's called "Come Grow With Us." So if you're a new business that has just done a ribbon cutting, you're going to get a plant from us. So we love that analogy of staying connected to the tree. And then we just invite you, come be a part of what's going on. Get involved where there are already things going on, because we're all stronger together. And Maria said it earlier, here at the Chamber, we support commerce, which means your business is our passion.
That's awesome to hear from you guys. Thank you very much for taking your time. I know you guys are very busy, for taking this opportunity and for letting us be here and have this conversation with you guys.
You guys, thank you. It's so great to have been a part of this today, and knowing that you're doing things like this because you want to find out what's going on for businesses and give opportunities for them to hear about resources. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So thank you. Q, last remarks.
Man, they said it without saying it. Networking is really key, especially for small businesses, just for business in general. You got to network. So get out there and network. Find different ways. People got to be ready. We never know when the pandemic's going to come, so you got to be ready. People didn't have anything online. They had to rush to get something online now. Other people are already established, so you got to be ready for all angles. And join the Chamber of Commerce. So they definitely looking out. Come to Zebulon.
Come to Zebulon and have those chocolate truffles out here. Denise chocolate truffles. Maria and Denise, thank you very much for your time. And let's hope we could do this another time. And maybe when there's no pandemic going on.
Absolutely.
We're down for that.
Thank you, guys.